Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashta Presha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistike. You're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 12, Birth of Emperor Parikshit, text 35.
So what is the reading from chapter 13, next chapter?
Oh, not this one?
No. So what we do is we read a few translations and then we focus on one verse. So this chapter is finished.
Okay. I prepared class for this one.
No. Oh, you prepared? We can do it.
35, right?
Yes, no.
Maybe we can do both.
Okay. No, we can go with 35.
Okay. Ahutaha Bhagavan Ragya Rajaidva Dvijay Nripam Uvasa Kadichit Masan Suridam Priyakamyaya Ahuto Bhagavan Ragya Ahuto Bhagavan Ragya Yajayidva Dvijar Nripam Yajayidva Dvijar Nripam Uvasakati Chinmasan Uvasakati Chinmasan Suridam Priyakamyaya Suridam Priyakamyaya Ahuto Bhagavan Ragya Ajayidva Dvijar Nripam Uvasakati Chinmasan Suridam Priyakamyaya Uvasakati Chinmasan
Sudaram Priya Kamyaya
Auto Bhagavan Ragya
Auto Bhagavan Ragya
Yaja Yitva Vijay
Yadayitva Vijayadripam
Uvasakati Janmasan
Vasakati Janmasan
Suridam Priyakamaya
Suridam Priya Kamyaya
Ahuto Bhagavan Ragya
Auto Bhagavan Ragya
Yada Yetva Vijay Nipam
Yadayitva Vijayadripam
Uvasakati Janmasan
Vasakati Janmasan
Sudaram Priya Kamaya
Suridam Priya Kamyaya
Okay, please repeat. Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, being invited to the sacrifices by Maharaj Yudhishthir, so to it that they were performed by qualified twice born Brahmanas. After that, for the pleasure of the relatives, the Lord remained a few months. Somebody will read, perfect.
Lord Sri Krishna was invited by Maharaj Yudhishthira to took him to the supervision of the performance of yajna, and the Lord, to abide by the orders of his eternal elderly cousin, caused the performance of yajnas by lengthwise born Brahmanas. Simply taking birth in the family of Brahmana does not make one qualified to perform yajnas. One must be twice born by proper training and initiation from the bona fide acharya. The one-born Sikhans of Brahmana families are equal with the one-born Sudras, and such Brahma Bandhus are unqualified one-born Sikhans must be rejected for any purpose of religious or Vedic function. Lord Sri Krishna was interested to look after this arrangement, and perfect as he is. He caused the yajnas to be performed by the bona fide twice born Brahmanas for successful education.
What I can do is speak something here, then I can go to the first chapter. Next chapter. So, Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dati Swapadantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhi Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Padithanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. So here Lord Krishna has been invited to the sacrifice which is going to be performed by Maharaj Yudhishthir. And here Krishna is making sure that this yajna will be performed by the qualified Brahmanas. So Prabhupada explaining who are the qualified brahmanas. Who is a brahmana? Brahmana is one who know Brahman, right? But mostly it was like those who know the first step of realization of God, Brahma Jyoti, is called a Brahmana. Normally it's kind of impersonal, right? That's why it's called Brahmana, one who knows Brahman. This word Brahman has many significance. It is also one who knows Brahman, a Brahmana, and or Brahmana Bandhu. Brahmana Bandhu means those who are born in Brahmana family, right? And a Brahmana who makes more progress by studying the scripture, then he is called Vipra, right? And a Vipra is one who studied the scripture. Like we have Sudama Vipra, right? And higher than that, he become Vaishnava. Vaishnava is a postgraduate Brahmana, right? So, but more advanced than the Brahmana is a Vaishnava. Vaishnava is one who is giving Lord Vishnu to the people, who is giving Krishna. Like Narad Muni is distributing, is giving Narayan to the people. So a Vaishnava is one who is giving, preaching Krishna consciousness, right? He is called a Vaishnava. So we find that it is said if a Brahmana is not engaged in devotional service, he cannot deliver himself. What to speak of his family members? He cannot deliver his family members. If a Brahmana born in a Brahman family, but if he is not engaged in devotional service, he cannot deliver himself. Whereas a Chandala, very fallen, if he start to engage in devotional service, he can deliver himself as well as his family members. If he is engaged in devotional service, right? Whereas a Brahmana, even though endowed with all the 12 qualities of a Brahmana, but if he is not engaged in devotional service, he cannot deliver himself, as well as his family members. So more important is devotional service. Advaita Acharya, he was actually, in fact, born in a Brahmana family, but he was associating with Haridas Thakur. When Advaita Acharya was doing this Shrad ceremony, so normally when people do Shrad ceremony after the departure of a member of the family, they have to invite Brahmanas, to feed Brahmanas. Why inviting Brahmanas to feed Brahmanas? Because Lord Vishnu says that he prefers to eat through the mouths of the Brahmanas. I mean, we offer Swaha, Ahuti into the Yagya. He likes it, it's okay. But he preferred to eat through the mouths of the Brahmana. One place it was said, Vishnu is saying that my feet have become exalted because I worship the feet of my devotee. Right? So that's why he's also saying that I prefer to eat through the mouths of the Brahmanas. Meaning that if we feed Brahmanas, then Lord Vishnu is pleased. Right? In that way. Than offering him this ahuti in the yagya. right? So he preferred to eat from the mouths of the Brahmanas. It's called Brahmana Bhojan, right? Brahman Bhoj, they offer. And this Brahman Bhojan is offered to the Brahmanas even if somebody is born or somebody die also, both ways. Remember when Prabhupada was born, his father invited Brahmanas and fed the Brahmanas. And the Brahmanas gave blessing to Prabhupada, say, he will become a great devotee of Srimati Radharani. Prabhupada ki. So, because they are invited to give blessing for the departed soul or for the baby who is just born. This is Brahmana. So, Advaita Acharya, one time he was doing this rite ceremony, and he invited many Brahmanas also, but first he invited Haridas Thakur. And first he was feeding Haridas Thakur. He would feed Haridas. But the other Brahmanas were unhappy. They were not happy, you know. He said that, how come we are Brahmanas? And Haridas Thakur, you know, is coming from the, he considers himself from Yavan family, right? So Haridas Thakur said, why are you feeding me first? I come from the Yavana family. You should feed the Brahmanas first, not me. But then Advaita Acharya said, Haridas, by feeding one Haridas, I'm feeding 100,000 Brahmanas. 100,000 something. Yeah, he said. By feeding one Haridas, I'm feeding 100,000 Brahmanas. You know, so one Haridas is sufficient. But then, if he had fed Haridas Thakur the food first, but the other Brahmanas were not so happy. They left. They did not take the food. Food was kept for them, prepared for them, but they left the place, they went home. They did not eat. So when they went home, but they were still hungry, right? No food. So they went home. So when they went home, and then asked the wife to cook food, because we're hungry. They did not eat. And then they start cooking. When they was cooking, and then they were lighting fire. And fire was not coming. Fire was not coming, you know, matchstick. Like this morning, I was trying to. I had to get the. So fire was not coming. And then they could not eat, they could not eat, they could not cook. They fasted the whole night. The next morning also, they tried to light fire to cook food. Still no fire. In the afternoon for lunch also, no fire. You know. So then they realized that they must have committed a great offense to Advaita Acharya, because fire is not coming. So then they all went back to Advaita Acharya. Please forgive us. Maybe we have committed great offense to you. We tried to cook food, no fire. Please forgive us. You know. And Advaita Acharya said, not me. You have not offended me. You have offended Haridas Thakur. Go to him and beg forgiveness. You know. And they all went to beg for forgiveness. Right? Because he's the only one who has received this, what do you call this title? What title? Namacharya. Mahaprabhu gave him that title, Namacharya. Who knows better than him about holy name? Right? And he's higher than a Brahmana. I said already, Vaishnava is higher than a Brahmana. Right? So one time, during the time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the caste Brahmanas, they invited Bhaktivinoda Thakur to discuss about the glories of Brahmanas. But he could not go, his son, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. And he went into the sabha and he was talking, he was glorifying. At first he started to glorify the Brahmanas, you know. And all the Brahmanas like it so much. You know, he glorifying, because Brahmanas also glorified. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Itai Satakritai Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So the very dear, Brahmanas and cows, two things are very dear to Krishna. Cows and Brahmanas. But of these two, which one is dearest? Cows or Brahmanas? The cows. Yes. Because Brahmanas can also fall down. Brahmanas can also divert. Consciousness can dwindle. But cow is always pure. Like Tulsi. Tulsi can never become impure. Always pure. Cow is also always pure. Brahmanas may also fall down one day. Right? But they are very dear to Krishna. The cows and the Brahmanas. Right? So Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj went to discuss. And then glorifying the Brahmanas so much. And the caste Brahman was so happy. But then he said, but the Vaishnavas are higher. And all the Haribol were there, the Hare Krishna. The devotees, they were there, they all clapping so much, praising Bhaktisiddhanta, Maharaj. So, this is true, because Vaishnava is not a question by birth. We don't become Brahmana by birth. Chaturvarnyam maya svishtam guna and karma. It's according to guna and karma. That one become Brahmana, right? Not by birth, right? It's not Krishna. He himself was created all this varna ashram, but it's not a question by birth. Of course, the Brahmanas by birth should be respected also, right? Because they have taken birth in that family. But Shastra is saying, even if one is a Brahmana, if he is not engaged in devotional service, cannot deliver himself. Whereas someone is born in a Chandal family, if he is engaged in devotional service, and then he can deliver himself. So maybe I'll also go to the next two verses. O Sonaka, therefore the Lord, having bade farewell to King Yudhishthira, Draupadi, and the other relatives, started for the city of Dwarka, accompanied by Arjuna and other members of the Yadu dynasty. Sutta uvacha vidurashtirtha yatrayam maitreyat atmano gatim gyadvagadastina puram taya vapta vivitsitaha. Sri Shuddha Goswami said, while traveling on the pilgrimage, Vidura received knowledge of the destination of the self from the great sage Maitreya, and then returned to Hastinapur. He became as well versed in the subject as he desired. Maybe someone can read the purport. Yeah.
Vidura, one of the prominent figures in the history of Mahabharata, he was conceived by Vyasadeva in the womb of maidservant of Ambika, mother of Maharaj Pandu. He is the incarnation of Yamaraj. Being cursed by Manduka Muni, he was to become a Shudra. The story is narrated as follows. Once upon a time, the state police caught some thieves who had concealed themselves in the hermitage of Manduka Muni. The police constables, as usual, arrested all the thieves and the Manduka Muni along with them. The magistrate specifically punished the Muni to death by being pierced with a lance. When he was just to be pierced, the news reached the king, and he at once stopped the act on the consideration of his being a great Muni. The king personally begged the Muni pardon for the mistake of his men, and the saint at once went to Yamraj, who prescribed the destiny of the living beings. Yamraj, being questioned by the Muni, replied that the Muni in his childhood pierced the ant with a sharpened straw, and for that reason he was put into difficulty. The Muni thought it unwise on the part of Yamraj that he was punished for his childish innocence, and thus the Muni cursed Yamraj to become a Shudra. And this Shudra incarnation of Yamraj was known as Vidura, the withered brother of Dhritarashtra and Maharaj Pandu. But this Shudra son of the Kuru dynasty was equally treated by Bhishmadeva, along with his other nephews, and in due course Vidura was married with a girl who was also born in the womb of a Shudrani by a Brahmana. Although Vidur did not inherit the property of his father, the brother of Bhishmadeva, still he was given sufficient state property by Dhritarashtra, the elder brother of Vidura. Vidura was very much attached to his elder brother, and all along he tried to guide him on the right path. During the fratricidal war of Kurukshetra, Vidura repeatedly implored his elder brother to do justice to the sons of Pandu, but Duryodhana did not like such interference by his uncle, and thus he practically insulted Vidura. This resulted in Vidura's leaving home for pilgrimage and taking instructions from Maitreya.
Vidura is a great soul. He's Yamaraj, previous birth. He was cursed, but Yamaraj was cursed by Manduka Muni. Yamaraj could have also counteracted it, the curse. But no, he accepted the curse because Yamaraj is one of the 12 Mahajan. So Mahajan, they like to preach, right? So Mahajan, they want to also preach. So he has come to preach to Dhritarashtra. Counselor, he was a counselor of Dhritarashtra. He was his brother. He was very attached to him also. He had the adhikar also, he went to chastise his brother. He's smaller, but sometimes he would also be chastising him, but for his benefit, because Dhritarashtra was blind spiritually and also materially speaking. He was blind, right? You see, when Dhritarashtra is asking the question, the first question in Bhagavad Gita, who is speaking? Dhritarashtra. Dharma kshetre kurukshetri. Samaveta yutsava. Mamaka pandavaschaiva kim akurvata. But is a son, my son and the son of Pandu is doing. So he's asking this question, not for their benefit. If he asks somebody, how are you? For his benefit, how are you doing, But he's asking, how are they doing? Not for their benefits, for his own selfish benefit. Why? Because Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya, right? Secretary, is asking, what are they doing? Because he wants his son to fight. If they don't fight, then his position will be at stake. He wants to keep his position, right? As a king. So he wants to be that. So why is he asking this question to Sanjaya? Because he has got some doubt. What's the doubt? Because this place is Kurukshetra, is a Dharma Kshetra. So Dharma Kshetra is a holy place that will favor the Pandavas most because they are dharmic. The Pandavas are the pious. So a place like Kurukshetra will favor the Pandavas. You know? So, and what was he was doubting what? That my son, Duryodhana's son's mind can also change. Because this is a holy place. So Duryodhana's son mind can also change and he may not fight. And if he doesn't fight, his position will be taken at stake. You know? And this is why he wants his son to fight. And you know what Sanjaya said? Sanjaya said, don't worry, my dear king. Your son is so sinful that even the holy place will not change him. You know? He's so sinful, even the holy dham will not change his mind. He will fight. Don't worry. You know? So, but Vidura, he was insulted. It was Vidura who informed Dhritarashtra to get rid of this son. He will become the cause of the destruction of the family, of your family. He will be the cause. It's like a bad weed. A bad weed has to be uprooted. He's speaking like that. He's very sharp. Vidura was very, very, very intelligent. And Duryodhana, as you know, the word, the name itself saying, it was called Durbudhe. Durbudhe means wicked mind, the wicked mind, you know. It was always wicked mind, Durbudhe. But Vidura was intelligent. And he has told Dhritarashtra that you have to get rid of this son. He will become the cause. But then Duryodhana heard this, you know, and became upset. And he insulted Vidura. You know, he said, just kick him out, kick him out. He said, not like that, he said, kick this son of a Sudrani out. He was the son of a Sudra, right? His mother was Sudrani. Kick the son of a Sudrani out, leaving him only with the breath. Because he doesn't have right for any possession, right? Because he was not born from the queen, from a Sudrani. So those who are born from Sudrani don't have right for the heads, right? So kick him out, leaving him only with his breath. Don't give him anything. But Vidura, he was not disturbed, but he understood that this is the Duryodhana who was influenced by the modes of ignorance, mode of passion and ignorance, by the three modes of nature. That's why he's speaking like this. You know? So then Vidura, he just put his bow and arrow on the side at the door and he just left. And he went on a pilgrimage. There are two personalities who did not take part in the Mahabharata. Vidura and Balaramji did not take part. You know. So he went on a pilgrimage there, and there when he went there, he also met the sages. He met Maitreya Rishi, Uddhava and Maitreya, right? So he was going to ask some news from Uddhava about message of the Bhagavad. Then Uddhava told him, you go to Maitreya Rishi, because Uddhava is younger, you know. And now at the end, he's also come back at the end. So when he come back at the end, he saw everything is gone now. Means all the sons of Dhritarashtra, they were killed. Who has killed them? Bhima. Bhima single-handedly killed all the sons of Dhritarashtra. How many sons? 100 son was killed by Bhima. So when Vidura came, seeing that his brother Dhritarashtra is still here, and he said, Vidura told him, what are you doing here? You're just like a dog. Sometimes dog, they're waiting for the remnants of the master when the master is going to send some food outside. You're just like a dog waiting for the food, for the remnants of Bhima. He said the name Bhima. Why Bhima? To give him more pain, because it was Bhima who had killed all his son, 100 son. You're just like a dog waiting for the remnants of Bhima. And that has given him more pain, because still he was hopeful to get the kingdom, although son died. And then Vidura said, alas, just see, he said, your liver has become defective, your hair has become grey, and all your, has become very loose now. Your teeth become loose. You're hard of hearing. You're blind by birth. Still, you want to live longer? And then Vidura said, just see how the desire to live longer, is so intense in people's life. Although death is prominent, death is going to come. And he said, please get out from here. Get out. Go to the forest before death comes. It's chastising him, but for his benefits. He has this adhikar because his brother, he's always willing, he's a well-wisher, we say. Prabhupada said, well-wisher. When Prabhupada write letter, he said, you're ever well-wisher. He's wishing well for him. He did not listen. This is because now the whole family has been destroyed because of association with Duryodhana. Dhritarashtra. Association with his elder brother. He would listen to his brother, his son. Duryodhana. That's why now completely destroyed the whole family, right? Because of Duryodhana. But Vidura would be always. Vidura, although he was staying with Dhritarashtra, but he loved the Pandavas equally. He also loved the Pandavas, right? So, one time when they made this conspiracy to give the house of lac to the Pandavas, and they were planning to burn the house, so that the Pandavas will also be burned. But Vidura, knowing that, he had already informed the Pandavas, be careful, they're going to burn the house. But that language was a different language. Some different language he spoke, so that nobody would understand what he said. So he told the Pandavas that they're going to burn the house, be careful. So then they had made a tunnel inside to escape from inside that. But it was Vidura who was actually telling them, be careful. So here's Prabhupada is saying that he was cursed by this Muni. What happened is this Muni, what's the name? Manduka Muni, yes. There were some thieves, right? Chor. And police were after them. And they came and hid in the house, of Manduka Muni. And when the police came, they also caught that Muni. And he was about to hang. And then they get the news that no, he was not a thief. He was just a Muni. But then he was upset why he was arrested, first of all. What did I do? Then he contacted Yamaraj. What's the problem, Yamaraj? What did I do? Why I was arrested? And then they checked the accounts of Manduka Muni. They saw that when he was small, he was pitching, with a small insect. And Manduka Muni said, no, I was a small boy, I did not know. So you're not supposed to punish me like that. Then he gave curse to Vidura, so that he will become a Sudra. Will take birth in the family of a Sudra on this planet. That's how his mother was not a queen, was Sudrani. And because Vidura, he likes to come, Yamaraj is one of the Mahajan, one of the 12 Mahajan. So he likes to come, he wanted to come. And he wanted to come to this world to preach Krishna consciousness. He was a great soul. He wanted to preach Krishna consciousness to deliver his brother, Dhritarashtra. Although also Bhishmadev is mentioned, Bhishmadev also. Bhishmadev was on the other side. It is said here. Although Vidura did not inherit the property of his father, the brother of Bhishmadev, still he was given sufficient state property by Dhritarashtra, the elder brother of Vidura. Vidura was very much attached to the elder brother, and all along he tried to guide him on the right path. During the fratricidal war of Kurukshetra, Vidura repeatedly implored his elder brother to do justice to the sons of Pandu. But Duryodhana did not like such interference by his uncle, and thus he practically insulted Vidura. This resulted in Vidura's leaving home for pilgrimage and taking instruction from Maitreya Rishi. He was enlightened, right, by Maitreya Rishi. So this is the two personalities who met Krishna before Krishna living, was Maitreya Rishi and Uddhav. So when he went, it is said that when you go on a pilgrimage, you have to meet the sadhus. You don't just go on a pilgrimage place, whatever holy place we go. If we just go, just visit, and then we'll be like tourists taking photos. Tourists like to take photos, right? So anybody going to the Holy Dham, not just going to the Holy Dham, should also be able to meet the sadhus and hear from them. That's the importance. Going to Vrindavan, just go and see the place, you won't be able to see unless you hear from the sadhus. That's how we can see the place, understand the place of pilgrimage. One time, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, he was on the Kartik Yatra in Brajadham. So they're walking and they stopped one place, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj was giving classes. So Prabhupada came and was sitting and listening. And Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj understood it. Prabhupada, he remarked, Prabhupada always like to hear. But others, they have gone for darshan, to have darshan. And then when they came back, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said, so, how was your eyes exercise? Eyes exercise, meaning if you are going, just not listening to katha, you just go for darshan, it's like eyes exercising your eyes, You won't see. Darshan means, what does darshan means? Darshan means you go there for the Lord to see you. That's darshan. You go to any place, the deities are there, for the Lord to see you. Right? So that's why going to any holy place, holy dham, one has to be able. Recently there was what do you call that? Kumbh Mela in India. I went there. Millions and millions of people came. And Kumbh Mela is the time when the nectar drop. So they go there to take bath to become immortal. But this nectar doesn't make one really immortal. Long life, yes, but not really immortal. So many people go there. Why they go? To wash their sin. And Prabhupada said, you go to Kumbh Mela, you go to the Ganges, to the holy place. But if you don't meet the sadhus, millions of sadhus there, if you don't meet the sadhus, and this is ridiculous. This is a waste of time, Prabhupada said. It's a waste of time going to the holy dham to take bath, but don't meet the sadhus. Right? So, and this is kind of praschita, atonement. They go and take bath to atone for the sin. Right? But that will not really help. Because after taking long bath so many years, then you can get purified. But you approach a sadhu, immediately become purified. So, because Parishit Maharaj doesn't agree with that. Praschita means like, Praschita is also karmakan. Praschita atonement is karmakan, and it's like the bath of the elephant, Elephant would go and take bath, and it will come out, it will roll on the dirt, So people go to the holy place, holy dham, or take bath in the Ganges, and then they'll come out again, commit sinful activity. That's why Parishit Maharaj doesn't agree with that. The real praschita is awakening of our Krishna consciousness. And this is why Vidura, when he's during his pilgrimage yatra, he went and meet the sadhus and inquire from them. Right? There's so many inquiries from Maitreya Rishi. First he wanted to ask from Uddhava, but Uddhava is junior by age, so he didn't want to break the etiquette. So he said, you go and ask from Maitreya Rishi, because Maitreya Rishi was elderly, So Uddhava did not want to break the etiquette, so he told him, you go and ask from Maitreya Rishi. So this is why here he said that they resulted in Vidura's leaving home for pilgrimage and taking instruction from Maitreya. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any point that you take away, to your takeaways, or any question or comments? Yeah.
Nice comment. I really like the story that you shared about Haridas Thakur, how when he was actually treated above Brahmanas and given the first chance to have prasad, and how when Brahmanas they disrespected Haridas Thakur, they actually got some reactions to it, and they had to go and rectify their offense. So that was really good lesson to not offend Vaishnavas and treat them very well.
Yeah. There was another time also. Haridas Thakur, he was invited by the Brahmanas again to discuss about the glories of the holy name. So he went. And the Brahmanas were saying that the glories of the holy name, that holy name mitigates suffering and attain liberation. They were discussing that. They were saying that's what the points. But Haridas Thakur said, this is not the goal of chanting. What is the goal of chanting? To attain Krishna prema. He said that mitigation of suffering and liberation can be achieved even by chanting in Namabhas, like Ajamil. So Ajamil chanted in Namabhas. And Namabhas means he was not chanting the holy name. He was not calling for the Lord. He was calling for his son. This is Namabhas. He is saying something else. So he said that liberation and mitigation of suffering can achieve by chanting in Namabhas. But chanting of the holy name is meant to achieve Krishna Prem. And the Brahmanas did not like that. They were upset. And they say, Haridas, if that is not true, we are going to cut your nose. That's very offensive, right? If that is not true, we will cut your nose. And Haridas did not argue. He just left the place. He left the place. He was so humble. And who knows better than him? In a few days, the Brahmanas, their own nose stopped melting. Why? Because of offending Haridas Thakur. It's a grievous offense, So their nose started to melt. It is true. He said that there is darkness in the morning also, right? 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, it's dark. 5 o'clock, still dark. But the sun sign is enough. Sun has not arisen yet. But the sun sign is enough to dissipate darkness. So Namabhas is enough for liberation and mitigation of suffering. So when the sun is rising, that's like Krishna Prem, right? So that's, I said again, who knows better than Haridas Thakur? Yes, Babu?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the class. I have a question regarding the last point that you mentioned, that when we meet sadhus, all the sins get destroyed, or we get purified. But in Kali Yuga, when we meet sadhus and we attain purification, as soon as we are leaving them, we are again at least thinking about sinful activities, or sinful activities are going on with us. So is there no stoppage to that? Like the sinful activities don't stop if we are not in association with sadhu?
It's explained that if someone say, I have become a devotee by my punya, this is not right. One do not become a devotee by punya. Second person say, I become a devotee by the grace of the Lord. That is not also perfectly correct. A third person will say, I have become a devotee by the mercy of the devotees. That is perfect understanding. We don't become a devotee by punya. We become a devotee by the mercy of somebody has given a glance or mercy upon me. That's how I become devotee. So when you go and meet a sadhu, so that's where your blessing starts, and your spiritual life also will start somewhere, by the mercy of the sadhus only. And so then now it starts from there, and then slowly. Of course, the sinful activities that is not eradicated immediately. I said like a fan. When you switch off the fan, there is a motion, right? And slowly, you'll come to a stop, depending how you're practicing Krishna consciousness. But the association of devotees, it is said that Narottam Das Thakur said, just by associating, nikat geli. Nikat means coming closer to the devotees, and then your sinful activity, your pap will be eradicated. Slowly, it will go, right? So only through that, only association of devotees and chanting of the holy name and performing devotional service, all our sinful reaction will be eradicated. Only through that, no other process, So that's how it works, Yeah. Yes.
Maharaj, Krishna likes Brahman and the cows, Namo, Brahman, both. So this way, I want to understand, like in these countries where beef is so much consumed, how do we explain to our colleagues and other people, about not to eat cows, or how do we explain? How do we, I mean, to a devotee we still understand, we're able to tell them. But how about those people who are absolutely outside Krishna consciousness?
First of all, you see, what I've seen nowadays, people, they love animal. They love dogs. Every time I go on Japa walk in the park, they come with the dogs. They love the animal. And they see the emotion, they see the love among the animal also, the puppy and the mother. This is how we can explain to them. So, if there is emotion, you love them, why are you killing? They love animal, they love dogs, because they know that love, there's emotion among the animals. But you love one animal, but you're killing another animal. This is not fair. So this is some point where you can catch them, because they know there is emotion, there is love, even among the animal, the mother, the emotion is there. You love them, you want to protect the dogs, but why not other animal? Right, So, but to tell them about the cows is sacred animal, they may not understand. That does not come to them. Because the milk is dharma in liquid form. Right? Milk is dharma in liquid form. So people drinking milk, then this tissue, that fine tissue develop. Then one can understand God. So and the cow is giving milk for humanity, and the cow is giving the gobar to be used, And even the cows also, when the cow die, they also use the skin for making mridanga. So it is a sacred animal. And also it is explained that all the demigods reside in the cows. And they may not understand that, but this is some point I'm saying, So, unless they get the mercy, they won't understand that, right? Where people are killing animals all over the world, eating them. And Prabhupada said, when killing of cows will start, that's the beginning of degradation of human being. Prabhupada said that. When they start killing animal, that will be the degradation of human society. We see that, what's happening. And people are getting killed nowadays. In war, in everywhere. Terror, getting killed because this is a result of killing cows. Some point you can tell like that. It's a result. You may not believe or not, but this is the result of killing animal, killing cow, because they're also part of the praja, for the Raja, for the king. So we are supposed to be protecting them. We devotees, we're not attached to animal, but we love them because we don't eat them. Right? Yeah, there was one more question. All right, thank you. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Sri Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.